Let's move on to the next item right now, please, because we're staying within the James family. This one involves his son, however, Mr. Bronny himself.
Do you think Bronny James has what it takes to become an NBA player and carry on his father's legacy? Let's have a look at the truth behind Bronny's basketball career in this enlightening video and discuss the reasons why some think he might not be a good fit for the NBA. The NBA great LeBron James' son Bronny James is still very young in his basketball career. He was born in 2004. Therefore, as of March 2024, he's still a young adolescent with a lot of time to hone his abilities and realize his greatest basketball potential. Despite the fact that his present play may make some people doubt his capacity to compete at the NBA level, there are a number of elements to take into account that could affect his success in the future. The most important thing to keep in mind is that Bronny is still a young player who is still developing his abilities. After high school and college, many basketball players, even those who go on to become NBA stars, go through a major period of growth and development. Bronny can potentially reach new heights in his game with the correct direction, mentorship, and commitment to his art. Bronny may not be a top choice right now, according to draft estimates, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have potential. Some pundits, aware of his inherent talent and athleticism, continue to see promise in his game and include him in their mock drafts. It's critical to remember that a variety of factors can impact a player's draft stock and that draft projections are not always reliable indicators of future performance. Apart from his physical prowess, Bronny also has non-tangible attributes that make him an invaluable asset on the basketball floor. He stands out among his classmates due to his great work ethic, basketball IQ, and competitive attitude, all of which could be important factors in his future growth as a player. These intangibles can affect a player's capacity to perform at higher levels of competition, but they're challenging to quantify only on the basis of available data. In your opinion, what are the key elements that a young basketball player like Bronny James needs to succeed in order to make it to the NBA? Though there may be obstacles on Bronny's path to the NBA, it's important to have faith in his ability to improve. He has the chance to forge his route in the basketball world if he has the correct support network and is dedicated to his work. Do you think Bronny James will play in the NBA in the future? On the other hand, of all his good sides, there are several arguments over him that question his ability as an NBA player. As of March 2024, Bronny James has not yet consistently displayed the caliber of play usually associated with elite NBA prospects. Even though he clearly has natural talent and promise, he still needs to make substantial improvements in a few areas of his game to be competitive at the highest level of basketball. The way Bronny is playing on the court right now is one of the key justifications for the claim that he's not an NBA caliber player. Although he has occasionally displayed moments of genius, his overall numbers and contributions to games have not always lived up to the expectations placed on NBA prospects. Scouts and commentators have pointed out that Bronny has to work on his athleticism, shooting consistency, and scoring production. If you feel the same, what areas do you believe Bronny James needs to work on in order to get ready for the NBA? Bronny has had trouble scoring consistently and effectively. Although he's capable of setting himself and his teammates up for baskets, he's not yet proven he can finish near the rim or block shots from the outside with consistency. Bronny needs to work on his shooting form, shot selection, and offensive lexicon in order to become a formidable scorer. In addition, scouts and commentators have disagreed over Bronny's athleticism. Although his size and athleticism are respectable for his age, he could still need to work on improving his speed, agility, and explosiveness in order to be able to compete with the NBA's best players. To reach his full potential on the court, Bronny will need to improve his strength, conditioning, and general athleticism. In addition, several onlookers have questioned Bronny's defensive abilities. Even though he's occasionally displayed glimpses of defensive talent, he'll need to improve his consistency and discipline if he's to succeed in the NBA. What do you feel about this point? It's never easy to come from under the shadow of a legend, and in the case of LeBron James, possibly the greatest basketball player of all time, the pressure and scrutiny may be unbearable. Because of his heritage, LeBron James Jr., sometimes known as Bronny, is sure to face high expectations. He's in the public eye not just because of basketball fans, but also because of the general public's tendency to attentively observe superstars' children and anticipate that they will one day equal or even surpass their parents' accomplishments. But Bronny also has to deal with the equally hefty weight of prejudices and skepticism as a result of his father's legacy. Bronny has to deal with the unavoidable contrast with his father. Every move he makes on the floor will be closely examined and contrasted with the remarkable career of LeBron James. It can be debilitating to constantly compare because it minimizes Bronny's unique abilities and successes. Even with his abilities, he might always be compared to his father's grandeur, which sets an impossible bar for him to reach. In addition, Bronny has to overcome prejudices associated with his last name. Rivals, coaches and supporters can perceive him as getting preferential treatment or opportunities just because he's LeBron James's kid. This prejudice can show up in a number of ways, such as teammates disliking him for being on the squad, or referees calling him less often. In your opinion, how necessary is it for Bronny to build his own identity as a player? Also, he feels compelled to forge an identity distinct from his father's history. A famous parent can open doors, but it can also throw a long shadow from which one may find it difficult to break free. Bronny has to walk a tightrope between walking in his family's footsteps and creating his own. He needs to demonstrate that he's a skilled and committed player in his own right, not just someone who's following in his father's footsteps. As LeBron James's kid, Bronny will face obstacles and biases that he must overcome. He must show that he's committed to both the game and his own player development. This entails practicing more, maintaining his concentration on his objectives, and refusing to let his father's fame be the only thing that defines him. Bronny would also need to surround himself with a solid network of teammates, coaches, and mentors who have faith in his potential and are committed to seeing him succeed on his terms. Having a solid support system can provide him with the direction and inspiration he needs to deal with the demands of being a well-watched athlete. What do you feel about this? Making a firm judgment about Bronny James's NBA future is undoubtedly premature. It might be difficult to tell whether he has the talents and abilities needed to compete at the professional level at this point in his growth. Nonetheless, a number of indications point to his potential for future development and NBA success. Above all, Bronny is still a young person. Bronny still has several years to advance in terms of his physical, mental, and technical development, because many players don't achieve their prime until their mid to late 20s. On the other hand, Bronny has access to some of the greatest resources and coaches because he comes from a basketball family. Given that his father is LeBron James, one of the all-time greats in basketball, Bronny has surely benefited greatly from Price's advice and mentoring during his basketball career. His work ethic and tenacity, along with the support of his family, indicate that he has room to grow. In addition, the NBA's basketball scene is ever-changing as players with diverse backgrounds and skill sets succeed there. Bronny might not have the same level of athleticism or domination as some of the contemporaries right now, but he might have other intangible traits that could one day make him an invaluable member of a professional squad. The only major problem that exists is about his age. And at this point, do you think age is an issue if he can compete? Share your thoughts in the comments section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you would like more updates on sports, subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell icon to not miss any other videos and get notifications at the same time. Don't hesitate to give your suggestions for our next video. I'll see you all next time, and until then, goodbye.